Hey guys, nothingwired.com, and today we have HTC's brand new and their biggest device yet, the HTC One Max. It's been released globally quite some time ago, but then the company announced it in India only today. So we have the launch unit here. You can see it's a monstrous device. It has a 5.9-inch diagonal full HD screen, that means 1080 by 1920 pixels, and it has a super clear LCD 3 display plus a Gorilla Glass 3 on top to protect it. You have your signature boom sound speakers there. That was the hallmark of the HTC One series. So we call it HTC One Max. That means looks, feels and feature wise you get the same HTC One premium experience. So you see it's mostly metal like all HTC One devices are, but then you have this nice plastic touch here and there. Yeah, it's also very premium plastic. It's actually polycarbonate. So on top you have the 2.1 MP front camera. It has an aperture of f/2.2 80%, and then you have your notification LED light and proximity sensor. Below you have the signature HTC soft keys, the home and the back key. On this side you have the button to open the back flap. So the back flap of the HTC One Max is removable, although it does not have dual SIM card slot. Below you have the micro USB port and then your mouthpiece. Here you have the power key, and thankfully now they have placed the power key on the side. Of course, with a device this big, you probably couldn't have found it here. So that's the volume rocker, and then on top you have the 3.5mm jack and then your IR blaster. Behind you have the 4MP ultra pixel camera, yeah, and it has a sensor size of 1/3 inch, and it has a very big 2 micron pixel size. So you know the iPhone 5s has 1.5 micron pixel size, so these guys are significantly bigger than most of the other cameras, so that's why it's called ultra pixel. So 4MP ultra pixels there. You have an LED flash and then the fingerprint sensor there, HTC branding, and that's about it. So let's quickly go ahead and open the back flap. Just swipe it down, then you open the back flap like the HTC One dual SIM. But then you have your micro SD card slot here and your lone SIM card slot here. It will take micro SIM card. There is no space for 2 SIM cards, so I don't know. I don't know if it makes sense to have a removable cover, because you cannot remove the battery also. But overall the look and feel of the device is great and carries the same legacy that the HTC One is known for. You know, it's very tough. Quickly put this together. Yeah, it's a beautiful device. Looks exactly same, only a bigger device than the HTC One, and the back side looks like the HTC One dual SIM. Of course you have the connector here. Yeah. The display of the HTC One Max, like all HTC One devices, is very sharp and bright. Of course it's a full HD, and what can you ask for? Now HTC also have something called as dynamic view engine, which should increase the viewing angle multifold. So you see there's absolutely no reflection out there, and as if the icons are actually printed on the glass and not beneath it. Now we'll see if they have any photos and stuff on the gallery. They have, yes. So let's go check out some of the photos and see how good the viewing angle is. There you see, excellent viewing angle, mind-blowing. Yeah, you see, very nice. That's a bright object. Let's see how a dark object looks like, and we're gonna go here. We're gonna go to this particular photo, and there you see the blacks also are quite dark. But then, however, at a night scene you of course get the reflection. That's understandable because it's a dark scene. But then you see the objects here are, you can make out them very nicely. There you can see there is no fuzziness and the blacks are quite good. So all in all, a brilliant display. Now we're going to quickly take you through the user interface. We're not going to go too deep. We'll give you an in-depth review when this device comes to our lab for in-depth review, that is. But then it runs Android 4.3, that's the most updated one, and Sense 5.5 on top. So you have new features embedded in the user interface. For example, your blink feed now has this, has this pane coming from left, and not only do not only have to add them from the menu button there. So once you pull it from the left, then you get the menu button here. Yeah, and then you can of course add your topics and services. This device is not connected, so I cannot show you which are there, but then they've integrated a new feature with which you can actually add the RSS feed of that particular publication. Now I'm not sure whether the UI when you're browsing news on that publication will be the same, will be filled with the same animation and images and videos that the preloaded content are, but we'll have to see when this guy comes to us for detailed review. You can also search your content, or you can also add it from here, and you can actually use a keyword and save that keyword, save news and other articles related to that particular keyword, which is another very useful feature. Now you have seen this thing here, the notification bar, and then you have the quick function toggle bar. You can edit them, you can toggle them the way you want. You can say done, or you can go to, come back to the same thing. The app dock is of course customizable. Yeah, there you see, that's the home page, and once you do this, you can have all your home pages. You can long press on any of these widgets and add these to the newer home pages. You can also add multiple home pages here. That's the last one, so 3 to 5 home pages plus the blink feed. The blink feed never goes away, you'll have to live with that, and of course I'm sure you'll live with that very happily, because I personally love the blink feed. It aggregates updates from my social feed, from my mails, from news, weather, stocks, everything at one place, which is so convenient. Then that's your main menu. Let's see, so you have of course your default Google apps mostly, and then most of the apps that came with the HTC One family stays there. Now some other improvements are, for example, you can go to gallery and experience a new feature with Zoe. Now we have it arranged in album. Of course you can arrange them according to events or my HTC. So I go here, and these are all locations. I go to the video highlight, and it gives me that famous 30-second video highlights of all my photos. Now I can simply edit and actually add my own music here. I can go to my menu, and then I can have music, and I can have my own music that are in the phone here. That wasn't in the case of the original HTC One, where it had it automatically used to insert a music. You also have kind of your video editing settings and content. Then let me check the content. Yeah, you can have any of these. I can add or remove any of these. You can go here and you can have multiple filters there. There, see, that will make it all black and white, and some other stuff there. You can also apply various themes, and it actually on the HTC Max is 100% customizable. Zoe can also now support or create GIF animations or sequential shot, whichever you want. Now let's check out how do you set up the fingerprint scanner. So you go to settings, and then fingerprint scanner is pretty apparent. You do continue, and then tap the finger you want to start up there. So I want to start up my middle finger, so I'm going to swipe my middle finger here multiple times. Once, it vibrates once, says 3 more times, once, 2 more times, one more time. There, it's done. Yeah, so I can do continue and I can enter a password. However, so I've entered the password here. I'll say continue. I've confirmed my password. Okay, and now so it's asked me, do you want to assign an app? So I go to OK, and I can say simply unlock, or I can also have it open the camera straight away. Go to home, voice assistant, and I can also choose from all the app. Yeah, in fact you can actually assign different fingers for different operations. Yeah, I'm on the unlock screen. There you see it wakes up. So that's the fingerprint scanner for you. The HTC One Max now also supports Indic languages, so you can go to your language in keyboard, select HTC Sense input, and then you can go to keyboard selection, and there you'll see a lot of languages, including 11 Indic languages. There you can see another very welcome move, especially to India. So with the HTC One Max, you also have the optional stylus here, yeah, with which you can of course scribble down the HTC Scribble app. Then you have the HTC Mini Plus, and then there's something called HTC Fetch, with which you can find your lost HTC One or the other stuff that we're gonna explain a little later. So that's about the HTC One Max, a quick look. We'll give you an in-depth review when it comes to our lab for reviewing. Thank you.